Hi, this is Hiroki Kudo and welcome to Vancouver Startups channel. I'll be talking about what is going on in Vancouver startup scene. If you're interested in such information, please subscribe to this channel. Today, we're going to talk about how to manage remote teams. I'm sure in COVID, you are working remotely. Most of the people are working remotely, and how to manage teams, how to work efficiently, I think is a huge struggle. I feel that myself. Today, I want to share you what I've been doing in my startup. I'll mention 3 tips that will be very useful. So number 1, building trust. So as a team, from a group to a team, you need to build trust. That's pretty obvious, and I'm sure you know about that. But it's really difficult to do this remotely. To build trust, you need to make the people feel comfortable to be able to knock on your door or come to your desk or have a web communication or meeting individually. So let's say if you're not comfortable, if there's no trust within the team or within a member and you, that person will not speak up. That person may be having problems, issue, but they won't present that in front of you. And that will be an issue if you're a manager or a leader in that team. So you want to be building trust and having that person openly talk about their problems, issue. So how to do that? You need to communicate that you are keeping an eye on them, you care about them. So subtle things such as mentioning something even small that the person had done well in the previous week, or picking on some changes that you've noticed that are really good. That indicates that you are keeping an eye on them and that you are interested in that person's well-being and their high performance. So doing like one-on-ones and frankly, casually talking about a lot of topics really helps in that sense. You can show how much you're interested in a person, how much kind of investing a lot of time creates this trust. So spending time talking to them, making sure that they're comfortable, following up on issues that they've mentioned before, kind of establishes trust. This builds up this trust with that person. So number 1 is building trust. So number 2 is creating a risk-free environment. So I'm sure if you've in a new team that not everybody knows each other very well, you come into a meeting and it's this awkward feeling, okay, who's supposed to lead this meeting, or should I speak up, or is this off the topic or not? You're kind of sensing that, and it's especially difficult when you're doing this remotely. This kind of sensing the atmosphere is difficult. Building this risk-free environment so that people can openly discuss about their mistakes, taking risks on certain projects. People can be openly feel free to do that. So one way to build a risk-free environment is openly discuss about your own mistakes. Let's say, oh, for the last project, I did this and that, which ended up in a very bad result. Since then, I've been doing this instead to improve that or fix that situation. Openly talking about your weaknesses, your failures, it kind of shows your vulnerability, and it opens up and people feel, oh, okay, that person's vulnerable, maybe I can show my vulnerability too. So people will be more open to discuss about their issues, their problems, mistakes, and so on. So the 2 points I mentioned isn't just specifically about remote working. It applies even if you're physically in the same office. But it's more obvious when you're working remote. And why that happens is an important point. When you're working remotely, you do web meetings, you chat on Slack or other chat products, and the information that you exchange or you get is limited. It's quite smaller than if you were in an office. Why is that? In an office, you would just walk around, you would kind of see people working and behaving. You would notice things. Oh, this person doesn't seem to be in a good health condition, or she seems to be very depressed. You can kind of see that walking around the office. You can kind of sense the atmosphere. Oh, everybody's very tense and very irritated, or people are very relaxed. You can feel that instantly. So the lack of information is critical of creating teams, and that brings us to the third point. The third point is having empty spaces. What I mean by empty spaces is if you pack your team, your members up with tasks, you just have to keep on doing tasks. You really have no time for anything else. If that's the situation, team members will be hesitant to help each other or come up with new ideas because they already have so much to do. So creating this empty space to kind of chat or come up with new projects aside from their main project, a lot of activities can be done if they have that free space. And this is really important, and especially when you're remote, because you want to collect more information. Doing these kind of extra activities, let's say it doesn't have to be like work related at all. Like, for example, you can have a Slack channel talking about your hobbies. You can have like after work game sessions that people who are interested in games can kind of gather up and like freely play games together. In those like activities, you will be having conversations much more and talking about their like personal life or what's going on. People will be more openly suggesting what's going on, or like you can pick up cues of like, oh, okay, this might need to follow up on that. These subtle cues that you would probably catch if you were in an office, you would lose during remote work. You can pick them up in these sort of casual meetings, casual like sessions, casual workshops and whatnot. So in my company, like we work with 1,100 people who work remotely. That's a lot of people. So we take extra care in trying to getting them on board, making them feel comfortable, providing resources, do like one-on-ones so that if they have anything they want to discuss, they have the chance to talk about that. And setting up with like buddies and mentors and all that, a support network around them, so that like if there is something wrong with them, and maybe I might not notice that, but some other member might. So keeping this kind of network of people, keeping in touch with people so that there are like extra layers of like comfort and support around that person. We make sure and check in on people so that they're comfortable, their issues they have, it's been taken care of. We're providing the support they need to progress and further grow. All this is obvious, all of this has been done, and I'm sure leaders and managers have thought about this, have been doing this even when they were in the offices, but because of the visibility and the lack of information, it gets more difficult. So you kind of have to keep an eye open very actively and keep your ears open, kind of sensing what's going on. Those cues are the important part of communication and getting the team together. Thank you for watching this video to the end. I hope this was helpful for understanding how to manage teams remotely. If you like information about startups or startups in Vancouver, please subscribe to this channel. If you like this video, please press the like button. That would be real help for me. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.